Today we're going to talk about hiking itself and pacing and how we're approaching this hike. That's our subject today. And hi, I'm Jeff. Welcome to my channel, 14ers for Beginners, where an ordinary guy like me wants to help ordinary folks such as yourselves hike your first few 14ers. I hope this information is helpful. I hope it's inspirational. I hope I can help you be successful in completing a hike such as this. It's such a privilege, such a beautiful thing, and I want you to be blessed by these videos so that you can accomplish this goal. If this is helpful, please hit like, hit subscribe. If you have questions, put those in the comments below. I'd love to help out however I can. We do want to approach this wisely. What we're doing is quite difficult. It's a physical task that's going to demand a lot of us, and so we want to be wise in how we approach our hiking, how we're going to pace ourselves, how we're going to set ourselves up in our approach for the hiking itself. We don't want to bonk out, we don't want to fail, we don't want to get injured, we don't want any of that to happen, and how we approach this is going to help us to be successful in making sure none of those other things happen. There's a saying in hiking, it's kind of funny, but it's very, very real at the same time, and that is that going up is optional, but coming down is required. You get to choose how far you go up, but you will come down the mountain. Whether you hike it down, whether somebody comes and gets you and carries you down, or whether a helicopter brings you down, you will come down the mountain. So we want to be wise in how we go up, so we set ourselves up well to be successful, get all the way to the top, and for a good descent back down, that we are safe and just enjoy this and succeed in what we're doing and doing it well. First, I want to start with your start time. You've hopefully done research. We've talked about this in other videos, research on how long this might take, the difficulty, the weather, those sort of things. And so whatever time you think you should start, I want you to start a little earlier. Add 30 minutes to an hour to the front side. I'd rather you come down too early than get stuck in weather or in a bad situation because this took you longer than you think. My guess is it's probably going to take you a little longer than you think, especially being one of your first ones. Your pacing is probably not going to be quite as fast as you think, and so I just want you to give yourself a little more time. As you start the hike, as you start up the mountain, I want you to kind of take your natural tempo and just drop it down one click. Okay, just start a little slower than you think, because it is long. It is going to be a lot of work. You know, you're probably not starting with the steepest, hardest parts. So just pace yourself. Just drop it one click and just take off and just enjoy yourself. This isn't a race. Just start at a good, appropriate pace. If you're with a group of folks, the way we usually want to organize ourselves is whoever is the leader, the most experienced, the most knowledgeable for the route, they need to be first. And then person 2 through the end goes from roughly the slowest or weakest or most inexperienced hiker to the second fastest or experienced hiker. And so that's how you want to kind of arrange yourselves. Usually you don't want the slowest hiker at the back, or your group starts to really stretch out, and it can really cause some issues amongst the group and your pacing and those sort of things. So put the leader at the front and then go slowest to strongest or second strongest towards the back. I want you to plan your breaks before you ever start. Have a conversation with yourself or with your group and say, hey, we're going to stop whether we need it or not every X minutes or X distance. Okay, so maybe you're going to say every 20 minutes we're going to stop, or every half mile, whatever it may be, right? You decide that as your group, but just say we're going to stop that often whether we need it or not. It's going to help us control our drinking, our eating. It's going to help us plan like bathroom breaks. It's going to help us be more efficient. It's going to help us plan just having a break, so that if there's somebody who's really pushing and they're feeling like, oh man, I don't know if I can make it, they know that there is a time set that we're gonna take a break, and so they don't feel like they're being pushed up the mountain. They don't feel obligated to keep going just because everybody else is, and putting them in danger, and ultimately your group in danger of not succeeding. Just from the beginning, say, here's how often we're going to stop. Now, if you get up there and you realize that's too often, let's stretch it out a little bit, right? Start at 20 minutes, go to 25, go to 30. Maybe you start at 30 minutes, go to 35, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. If you start at a half mile, go to 3/4. You can be flexible, but just make a plan, communicate well amongst yourselves, and be on the same team, be together with this. I'd encourage you, when you take a break, don't like sprawl out on the ground and that sort of thing. Stop, maybe stay standing, maybe sit for a moment, but don't get too comfortable. Don't let your body tighten up. Don't let your muscles start really relaxing and cinching up too much like they think they're done. You're just taking a break, and then you keep going. As you're hiking, coming down goes faster than going up, and it feels easier. Your body feels more like, whew, I get to go down now, right? Instead of the work of going up. But I want you to be careful, because actually descending is where a lot of accidents happen. You're tired, your body's tired, your body is weaker. Sometimes you mentally are just not as sharp because you think you've accomplished the goal, right? So now it's just, I just got to get back. And so a lot of accidents happen on the way down. I want you to stay conscious of things on the way down. Pace yourself. Use that muscle we talked about in the fitness video, using your muscle to control yourself going down, so it's not a jarring, just controlled fall. Really control yourself going down. Also take breaks coming down, because your body is still working, okay? There's a lot still happening, even though you're going downhill, not uphill. And so still be careful coming down, take your breaks, and again, enjoy yourself. None of this is a race. We're up there to enjoy ourselves, to accomplish something, and to enjoy the beauty that God's given us. So take your time, look around, be careful with your stepping, like just take your time, okay? Also, the breaks going up are so your muscles can recover, because you're using muscle to go up, you're using joints to go down. So as you take breaks, just be mindful of how your joints are feeling, and as you come down, be mindful of that. That like, man, my ankle's starting to hurt, or my knee's really hurting, or a hip or something like that, and just be mindful and communicate that and say, hey guys, my hip's really kind of bothering me. Okay, well, let's slow down just a bit, okay? Let's not let anybody get hurt. Let's all be on the same team here and work together. So we're gonna pace together to have that sort of teamwork that we all can hopefully be successful. You want to be mindful that the whole hike is a challenge, just for different reasons. So as we talk about how we hike and pacing and things, we can't go to sleep on any of this. We have to be careful with it, especially if we're going to truly be successful. When I think about all those things, like when we eat and drink and all the rest and all those kind of things, to help us be successful. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope this has helped you to generate some thoughts about what you're going to do, maybe have some conversations amongst your group about how we want to approach this. You can do it. You can create a plan. It'll help you be successful, I promise, and you will enjoy this and not just succeed, but have a great time doing it. All right, as usual, I hope I get to see you at the top.